Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday morning. Whoever had the idea to have a drawing show at 5:30 in the morning every day of the week? That guy's crazy. Anyway, so here we are every day of the week drawing. Today, what are we doing today? Today is a humpback whale. Every day at 5:30 in the morning. Tell you what, let me spritz these watercolors real quick. I want to make sure these watercolors are nice and juicy. I like them juicy. I like them moist so that they just tappy later on here in about 15 minutes or so when we get into them. That way I can just tap them and I don't have to scrub them. So today we have this humpback whale is our toy, our random object from the Random Object Randomogrifier. This particular model came from SeaWorld San Antonio. It's, it's accurate. It's got a little goofy face. You can tell it's a humpback whale. Yesterday I got a little confused. I thought when I pulled it out of the container that the little girl pulled for me, and I thought that it was a blue whale, but they're related to blue whales. They're both balines. They are cetaceans, and cetaceans split off from their land-loving ancestors some, I don't know, 50 million years ago, and the balines split off from the cetaceans some 35 million years ago. We'll go through the begats real quick. Hi, Ivy. But he's fairly likable, so I set my alarm for Sundays, even after kayaking Saturday afternoon and hurt so bad I've had 2 Tylenol already. Oh yeah, fistful of Tylenol is how I start every day, Ivy. Ever since Iraq. Anyway, where was I? About 35 million years ago. You got here just in time for the begats. And the baleen whale begat the humpback whale, which begat the blue whale, which begat the humpback whale. The blocking was fairly simple. The blocking was really just uh, make a big oval and then hope everything lands where it's supposed to. Yeah, you got here just in time for the begats. Uh, the baleen whales separated from the toothed whales. Baleen means they're filter feeders. They have the hair-like teeth. They separated out some 35 million years ago, and then the humpback whales separated out about 5 million years ago from everybody else. So there's only been humpback whales for about 5 million years. And they are the the famous whales that everybody should think of when they think of whales, because they're the ones responsible for the whale song that was on all of the 80s CD tracks. I did not look up their lifespan. I should have looked up their lifespan. I don't remember what their lifespan was. But they live a long time and they sing. Males have these songs that are particular to the area that they're in. It changes depending on the area that they're in. It changes based on the season. It changes based on what the mood is like. Whether you're playing a little Bee Gees, Staying Alive, or whether you're playing a little Careless Whisper. They're the ones that during the 80s and 90s you could go to any hippie store and find whale song CDs. I think you can still go on YouTube. I think there's still channels dedicated to whale song. You can go to YouTube and look for whale song. You can go to Spotify and look for whale song, and you'll find it. You'll find hours and hours and hours of whale song. These guys just singing along, just telling about their life. And one of these days, they're going to translate it, and it's all going to be, just swimming. So when my wife and I were dating, you could still rent VHS tapes. That's I'm that old. You could still rent VHS tapes. We were standing in line at the store to rent the VHS tapes, and they had the whale song display behind us, and it was just singing along, and then all of a sudden it paused, and when it paused, I responded, "Woo, woo," and the store's looking around. And my wife thought it was part of the CD, and I'm over there singing along with the whale song. This is my jam, baby. That's my jam. So I mean, it was these are the guys that do that. You couldn't go anywhere in the 80s without they advertised on television. The whale song the whale song CDs they advertised. They had spots on television. People ate this up. And I think yeah, my mom's laughing. Yeah, she's still with you. Yes. Yes, that's the true miracle, is that she's still with me. 30 We've been together almost 30 years. That's so hard to believe that she hasn't killed me yet. But they're they're about 40 feet long, 45 feet long. They weigh about 40 tons. Uh, let's put that in perspective for you. That's about 35,000 prairie dogs, or about 55 size 11 sneakers end to end. But I can tell you, if you stack 35,000 prairie dogs to get to the same volume of a humpback whale, the prairie dogs won't like it much. Am I out of ink? Nope, I'm not out of ink. So 35,000 prairie dogs to make up a humpback whale. 55 size 11 sneakers, because anything but metric. Well, if it's 55 sneakers, then it's got to be about 72 bananas. That's just off the top of my head, quick math. My mom asking me how many bananas it is, because like I said, anything but metric. Part of part of getting this stuff down is knowing that I can't turn my wrist and make this mark, so I turn the book to an angle that I can make the mark. That's part of knowing your limitations. The name of this species is Megoptera nova anglea. Megoptera nova anglea. And And that means long-winged, big-winged New Englander is what the name means. And it's referring to this pectoral fin right here. These pectoral fins are the longest of any of the uh, aquatic mammals. That pectoral fin is the longest of any of the aquatic mammals, and they're known for it. And it is they can be up to a third of the length of the body of the whale. It's one of the distinguishing factors, as well as these tubercles, which is what you call the little knobbies on their snout. These tubercles also are defining characteristics of the whale, because the tubercles all have little hairs in them that allow the whale to sense the changes in the water, changes in the temperature, changes in the flow direction. It's like having permanent goosebumps. You know how when you have goosebumps, how you can sense the breeze because all your little hairs stand up. Well, they have permanent goosebumps on their snout so that they can sense the changes in the water around them, because they are hunting krill, which are little shrimp. These things are 40 foot long, 45 foot long, and they're eating krill, which are crustacean shrimps about 2 inches long. And they just eat them. They swim through and filter them out of the water. And their little hairs let them know when the krill dart this way, the water changes. The little hairs let them know that they're darting that way, and so they can follow and not lose that bite of food. And they're filter feeders in that sense, in the sense that they have no teeth. They just have these little hair-like structures. That's what makes them in the baleen family. When we talked about baleen earlier, they don't have the teeth like the other toothed whales do. But they have these little hair-like structures that filter the water, and they eat krill and just swim through, and they need to know which way the krill are darting so they can follow them and eat more, because it takes a lot of krill. When you are a 40 foot long animal, 45 foot long animal weighing 40 tons, you need a lot of krill to keep your day going. And so they need a lot of krill. They need to be very sensitive as to which way they're going. They hunt together. They work as a community to corral the krill. They make bubbles, and they blow bubbles up into the water, and they corral the krill up into a specific area so they can chase them down. It's pretty interesting how they work together. I always thought the little knobbies were barnacles. I had no idea the knobbies had a purpose. Because nobody talks about that. They don't teach you that stuff. I didn't learn anything about humpback whales at all, other than a few of lyrics of their songs. That's whale for I love you, or come kiss me. One of the two. I don't know. We'll try it when the wife gets home. See, my wife does not speak whale, by the way. I just want you to know that she does not speak whale, and she's irritated when I try to speak whale to her. I forgot this other flipper back here. Ivy pasta. Ivy passed 150,000 views on her channel yesterday. That's impressive, Ivy. Good for you. Good for you. I think I get like 20 views a show now. Oh yeah, Ivy's trying to get my show numbers up because she wants that Hawaiian print shirt. I've made the I've made the commitment. I'm going to make a Hawaiian print shirt with my artwork on it, and I'm going to have a giveaway when I get to 1,500 subscribers. I'm going to give away some original watercolors. But when I get to 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a Hawaiian print shirt with my artwork all over it. And so Ivy's all about that shirt right now. And she's a really good friend who just wants to help me grow my channel. That's the best part. If you haven't seen Ivy's channel, she has some coloring books that she colors out of. She made some coloring books of her own that she colors out of, and then she has some other coloring books, and she colors them with colored pencil, and occasionally plays farming games. She occasionally streams her farm simulator games, which I used to play The Sims, so I totally understand the joy of making those little people do what you want them to do. But I haven't watched her farm simulating game enough to know. Can you take the characters and make them kiss like you can in Sims? Because that was really the highlight of that game. Now kiss. Do. All right, how are we doing on that? I think that's about it for the shading. Yeah, we've been friends. Ivy and I have been friends for a long time. What, 12, at least 12 years. We've been friends for at least 12 years. Let me dry this real quick, and then we'll come back with the coloration. Alrighty. Humpback whales were featured prominently in Star Trek: The Voyage Home. By the way, you like my whale picture that I have over here? My little adopted granddaughter, Mac and Cheese, made that one for me. I put the call out. Occasionally, I just put the call out to my grandkids and say, "I need whales. I need a picture." Okay, Grandpa, I'm on it. And then I get cool artwork to show y'all. So my little adopted granddaughter, Mac and Cheese, sent me that one in text message, and I printed it out to show you guys. It's funny because my other granddaughter in the same household, Unique with Chantiel LaFontaine, her reasoning for not participating was because her sketchbook was full and she didn't have a new sketchbook. And so I put her sketchbooks on subscription on Amazon. Soon she will have more sketchbooks than she's ever seen in her life. Tell me you don't have any sketchbooks. I got that problem handled. I know exactly how to solve that problem. No sketchbooks. Not my granddaughter. Nuh-uh. Anyway, little mac and cheese made me that whale, which I had to show you. Because isn't it just, seriously, isn't it just fantastic? All right, let's see here. I think we're way too early to be finished with that. That's crazy. But I mean, there's not a whole lot of coloration there. So let me dry that one more time. Ivy says if she gets two hair drying. These whales, these whales were hunted to near extinction by the 1950s. And it actually said mid 20th century, and I was like, oh, so just a few years ago. No, it's 75 years ago. But it makes me turn to dust. But by the 1950s, they were down to less than 10,000 animals in the world. From hunting, they used whale oil, they used whale meat, they used the bones of whales to make corsets. And my mom's saying, hey, 1950 wasn't that long ago. Yes, it was, Mother. They used the bones of whales to make corsets so the women could look thinner and not whale-like, I guess. It was horrible, all the things that they used these whale parts for, except, the whale was still using them when they took them. And today, those hunts are the hunts are strictly regulated today. They have some indigenous people in the world that are still allowed to hunt whales. The rest of the world has made whale hunting, especially this species of whale, has made whale hunting illegal. But there are some indigenous peoples that still hunt them for their culture. And I take issue with that. And I don't usually come out against indigenous cultures for stuff like this. They have a long-standing tradition. It's a path to manhood. They have a long history of how they use the products, and it's part of their ancient culture. And I would just like to point out that, it was part of our culture to capture other people and put them in chains and make them build things, and we changed. It was part of our culture to run entire herds of animals off cliffs to provide enough meat to get us through the season, but we changed. And now we know that when we overhunt these things are intelligent animals, and we should change. We shouldn't use the crutch of culture and history to say, well, we've always done it this way, so we should be allowed to always do this. It's our culture to own other people. It's our culture to destroy another species on the planet that serves no real purpose. There are one or two whales a year that they kill serves no real purpose. It's not even a religious experience because they don't worship those gods anymore. All right. But we're back up to 90,000, almost 90,000 individuals. So we've made in the last 75 years, we've made some huge progress in bringing the animals back from the brink of extinction. I'm sure the movie Star Wars No Way Home, Voyage Home, helped with that tremendously by explaining the plight of the animals, where they had to come back in time and catch some whales to keep the Earth from being destroyed in the future by the culture that put the whales there in the first place to monitor the planet. It's a very convoluted tale. You'll have to watch the movie. These guys migrate almost 5,000 miles. I think I touched on this a while ago. These guys migrate almost 5,000 miles between feeding and mating. They go from Alaska to Hawaii in the Pacific to feed and mate. And my parents took me one time in the 4th grade, took me out of school to Hawaii to go watch the whales come through in January. I don't think I ever saw a whale. I think I was too busy at the pool and the beach. And I think my dad saw some whales. My mom started to say something, but I don't know what. She cut herself off. But I don't think I ever saw a whale. But my dad told the school, it's educational. We're going to miss a week of school, but it's educational. He was concerned that the school would be upset that they took me out of school, and the school was actually like, thank God, get that kid out of here. My mom's sitting there saying, yeah, we had a really good time though. We did. We had a great time. I enjoyed it. The only other thing that I would like to talk about humpback whales. These guys do have this really cool feature. These guys save other life other animals in the wild. Hang on a second. I've been holding this coffee for like 3 minutes now. My arm is getting tired. These guys will swim up and save a seal from a pod of orcas. Will save a sea lion from a pod of orcas. They help. They have been caught on camera helping other animals, stopping the orcas, stopping the shark attacks. They have been caught on camera saving other animals, and they don't know if it's a defense against orcas to discourage orcas hunting in their area. Gray calves, blue whale calves, seals, sea lions. There's a whole list of other animals that these guys have been caught saving, and they don't know if it's a defense against the orcas to discourage the orcas from hunting in their area, or if it's true altruism. They see this other animal in distress, and they go and they help this other animal because this other animal's in distress. Now, the argument against it being that is that they only do it when the orcas are attacking, and they don't do it when the animals are caught in fishing nets. But they do that. The fact that they do that at all is pretty impressive. They have been known to bring seals to people boats and push the seals up on the people boats to get them out of the reach of the orca whales, which I just think is just really cool. Orcas are not balleens. Orcas have teeth. What is today? Today is the 10th of August, 2025. I'll sign that. And so that is my version of our little humpback whale there. Let's see it. Let's see it from my perspective here. Oh, you know what? I brought this other camera out so that I didn't have to disconnect that other camera. Of course, I've already disconnected that other camera. So I've already disconnected the other camera, so I'm not recording this anymore, but there is the humpback whale from my perspective. So that is what I did today. 133 days, that's right. Ivy's cheering me on because I've been doing this for 133 days. That is what I did. Here's the egg that the little girl has no eat. I don't think that's right. Let me see what that is. I think this is the egg that the little girl pulled for me. It's either that or it's an egg I failed to put away. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. We've done this one. Haven't we done this one? I think we're doing this one again. This is an Indian woman with child. I think we've done this one, but we're going to go ahead and do it again. It's been a while. This is from the Powhatan Indian set from Safari. But this is, it says Indian woman with child. And that is what we're going to draw on the 11th. That's a Monday, goodness. That's what we're going to draw on the 11th of August, 2025. So if you're watching this at, we're going to do it at 5:30 in the morning. If you're watching this and it's before 5:30 in the morning on Monday, August 11th, 2025, then you're watching the trailer, and this is what we're about to draw. So stick around, we'll get right on it. But for the rest of us, that concludes the show for the day. We'll let's see, is there anything we got to say? Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate that. This is how I have accountability to do my art practice. I love coming down here and arting with my besties. Ivy, I'm really glad to see you. I had a couple of people in the chat that never spoke up, so I don't know who they were in the chat, but I can see that you were here, and I thank you for joining me also. Be sure and tune in tomorrow, same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. And then we dance. We dance, because this is donut day. This is the day. As soon as this stream stops, I walk over to the donut shop. And the donut shop's just a little over 1.5 miles away. So I will walk to the donut shop and I will earn me an apple fritter by walking, right? Because to walk over there, that's how you earn the apple fritter. But we dance to make sure that the lag catches up to the stream and that you have a chance to click all the other links. Otherwise,